Well, nobody said it was going to be easy. The Stanley Cup Final all tied up 1-1 after a Brad Marchand double overtime goal to give the Panthers the W and to tie this puppy up here in Edmonton. Dennis Bernstein, Dave Pagnotta, and our coverage here on the fourth period of the 2025 Stanley Cup Final is brought to you by Carlsberg, probably the best beer in the world. All right, 1-1.
Yep.
There were chances on both sides.
Sure was.
The Florida Panthers capitalized in overtime, semi-breakaway for Marchand to get that one. The game-winning goal, his second of the game. We're all tied up.
Sorry, Oilers fans, no singing tonight. As a senior citizen, Dave, 40-year-old guy ties the game. 37-year-old wins it. Old guys rule. What a great game for Brad Marchand. Another drama-filled game. It looks like we're going to go 7. We go to South Florida even 1-1.
And this was, as we talked about beforehand and on Face Off Live, the pregame show on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, this was going to be back and forth.
Yep.
This was going to be a tight one, just like the first game really was. But what Florida didn't do tonight, and what they did do in Game 1, was hunker down and take their foot off the gas in that third period. They didn't do that tonight. There was a lot more aggression across the board from the Panthers. That was something that they said they were going to do. But despite playing a great third period on their end, still Corey Perry ties it up, and they forced this one a little bit further.
The Panthers were stellar for 19 and a half minutes defensively. But that's the Edmonton Oilers in this playoff run. Yeah. They're just, they never say die. And Corey Perry found a way to get the puck past Sergei Bobrovsky. Yep, the Panthers had a ton of chances in the first overtime. And Dave, you turned to me and said, usually when you have that many chances and can't cash in, you get a bounce the other way and the other team wins. But not the case tonight. They found a way to win. And again, Brad Marchand, just a signature playoff game for him tonight.
The Florida Panthers did a good job. Their defensemen, did a very good job in getting to the puck quicker. A lot quicker than they did in Game 2. They were able to clear the zone. They were able to dump it out a lot faster than they did in the first game. So there's some improvements from that side of things from them. As the game progressed, I thought we'd see more of those speed burst moments out of Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. We didn't see that in the extra frame.
Yeah, or the entire game, they weren't dominant players. They really didn't, even though they had over 40 shots on goal. Connor and Leon were not dominant puck possession players tonight, and that's the way the Florida Panthers play. They wanted to minimize that. And look, again, the Marchand line with Luostarinen and Lundell, their best line again. Barkov, the Reinhart line, was really good defensively, but their third line, which is really now their first line, carried the day again for them today.
It absolutely did. Sergei Bobrovsky solid in his net. Stuart Skinner, for the most part, as well, matching up solid in his. I think we can throw out all the goaltending narratives aside, especially from the Oilers' perspective.
Sure.
There are no issues in net for either of these two sides. The rest of it's going to come down to top performers performing and getting the job done. Oddly enough, Alex Barkov, -3 tonight in this one. No points. He's a -4 so far in these first couple of games. You think the Selke winner would have a better defensive performance.
But, Dave, there's not so much separating these teams, right? It's 1-1. Each team has scored, 8 goals in the series. We're going back to Florida even, and again, it looks like a 7-game series like it was last season.
Shot for shot, that's how it's going to be. Team no quit versus team no quit.
Right.
We'll see what happens. Game 3 coming at you Monday from Sunrise. We get our butts on some planes tomorrow. We head down there. We will check back with you over the course of the weekend leading into Game 3. For Dennis, I'm Dave. This is our coverage of the Stanley Cup Final here on TFP, presented by Carlsberg.